How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, we are back on this Russian probe. I mean, this has so many tentacles. And I've been keeping my due diligence, my royal family. I've been watching the news and reading. Again, watching the news and reading. Did you hear that, Trump? You can't just watch the news. You got to read. So, my royal family, as we continue on with this saga, just to let the royal family know, what I do is I give it some time for the story to play itself out. Because if you jump on this, it'll wear you out. It really will, because they are still investigating and coming up with this finding, coming up with that finding, subpoenaing this person. All type of stuff is going on. I mean, it is messy. So anyway, my royal family, so we got another person. Sam. Oh, Sammy boy. Sam Nunberg. That's a fucked up ass last name. So, Sammy boy, his feelings hurt. He up in his feelings. Oh, yes, he is, my royal family. So this is, you can see by the length of it, a popcorn video. So gather around and let's listen to this fool talking about what he is and what he ain't gonna do and what he gonna allow and what he ain't gonna allow. Do he fully understand what the government mean? What they can do to you? They will lock your pasty white ass up. But you're young and you got bravado. You say a lot of shit when you're young. You don't do your own thinking. You don't know how to be patient. So anyway, my royal family, I'm going to give y'all a sample of this fool. And then I'm going to bring y'all up to the present quickly. So right here, my royal family, I have a very long article. Look at this. Very long article that I am not going to read to the entire royal family. It's so long. But it will be there for you to read. Now, I'm going to give y'all a snippet of his personality, because you have to see these people, how they get down when they're in an interview. You want to see them in live form, how they, you want to see how he get down. So this is just very, very short, just 38 seconds.
Would be willing to go in for testimony. I want it to be fair. I don't want them to target Roger. They could be targeting Rod. They could. What I think is, look, Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, crooks. They were crooks. They didn't pay taxes.
They have been charged. Yeah.
They did. I believe they were crooks. I believe that they were crooks, and I've heard that they've been very loose about money. What I'm not going to have is to help Mueller's team target Roger Stone. Roger is my mentor. Roger is like a surrogate father to me, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Okay, you can talk about what you're not going to do. All right. So anyway, my royal family, let me get this shut down. Don't worry, it will be there. So anyway, oh Sammy boy, look like you've been eating a lot of hot dogs. Oh Sammy boy, we're going to get a little more deeper into why he up in his feelings and why he ain't gonna do what he ain't gonna do, and screw that and whoop diddy wham and blah blah blah. Yeah, they knock up on your damn door and start dragging your ass to jail, you'll start singing like a fucking canary. So we have to fully understand he is young and he feel like he has power.
Nunberg seems to be one of Donald Trump's favorite targets. Trump has fired him twice and sued him for millions. In early 2014, after Nunberg convinced Trump to do an interview with BuzzFeed he promised would be a great story, Trump let him go. Trump told the New York Post Nunberg agreed Trump could fire him if the story turned out to be unflattering. BuzzFeed's article, titled 36 Hours on the Fake Campaign Trail with Donald Trump, was scathing. Nunberg was fired, only to be rehired as a communications advisor in February of 2015. But in August, Trump fired Nunberg again. By then, he had joined the campaign as an advisor. But a Business Insider story exposed Nunberg's racially charged comments on Facebook. The posts, which dated back to 2007, referred to Reverend Al Sharpton's daughter using the N-word. Nunberg told the media he didn't recall writing those posts, but did take responsibility for them. He reportedly apologized to Sharpton, but lost his job with the Trump campaign, which described him as a low-level staffer.
I am not a fan of Donald Trump. He treated me like crap.
Right.
Okay? I should not have been fired.
The 36-year-old Nunberg graduated from Toro Law Center on Long Island. While there, his LinkedIn page says he served as chair of students for Mitt in Romney's 2008 presidential campaign. His profile also says he worked for the conservative nonprofit American Center for Law and Justice. Nunberg's mentor early on was another controversial Trump advisor, Roger Stone. Nunberg had reportedly read a Weekly Standard profile of Stone, describing him as a Nixon-era trickster who blackmailed reporters and lied all the time. Stone had also described politics as performance art. Nunberg got himself a job with Stone's consulting firm. The two later co-wrote for Breitbart News, critical of Hillary Clinton. In the past, he's also slammed Barack Obama, calling the former president a socialist, Marxist, Islamo-fascist, Nazi appeaser in a Facebook post. Republicans aren't immune to his attacks either. He once described former New York City mayor and Republican presidential candidate Rudy Giuliani as a punk with a bad lisp. It seems he and Trump last tangled in the summer of 2016, when Trump sued Nunberg for $10 million. Trump accused his former aide of breaching a non-disclosure agreement by leaking false and defamatory information to the media. Nunberg denied leaking anything, instead suggesting Trump was suing in retaliation for Nunberg endorsing Senator Ted Cruz in the Republican primary. In the end, the lawsuit was reportedly settled amicably. Randy Kay, CNN, New York.
Wow, these folks is messy. I mean, like I said, the tentacles. You really have to have a great deal of patience and dislike, which you have to do, my royal family, when something pop up on this. Just focus just on that and see all the different players and all the different dynamics. That's all you have to do. Now something else gonna pop up, and then you just focus on that, and then at least you understand how that particular part plays, and then the next play, and then how it all comes together. But don't never try to bring it together. You just understand the parts. So he gonna be a problem, and the reason why he gonna be a problem, because him and Trump got some issues. So he been fired twice. You're not too bright to come back the second time and let Trump hire you. So basically, Sammy boy, you want nothing more than a plaything to Trump. Now I don't know who up in your ear that you think when somebody subpoena you. Let's get to this before we get into this next very long video. When somebody subpoena you, you have to honor it. If you do not honor it, they have a remedy for it. Now, Sammy boy, you a lawyer. Because you think because you got a law degree that you are above the law? Then on top of that, you were dealing with the government? Your ass, Sammy boy, won't be eating them fat ass hot dogs no more. You will start looking very thin. Anyway, my royal family, let's continue on. Now, this one is long. 14 minutes, might as well say 15. And this is a present day video. The other two, forgive me, was a day or so ago. I don't like to go too far with the royal family. So let's hear what's really going on, because up here it says Nunberg. I think Mueller has something on Trump. Oh yeah. Former Trump campaign aide Sam Nunberg told CNN Jack Tripper that he has no doubt President Trump knew about the meeting with Russians in Trump Tower in 2016. So now we gonna get into the coup de grace of this and see what's really going on, possibly.
In the Russia investigation this afternoon, former Trump campaign aide Sam Nunberg says he will not comply with a subpoena from special counsel Robert Mueller to appear before the grand jury, telling the Washington Post, quote, "Let him arrest me." The Trump campaign fired Nunberg in August 2015 after a series of offensive Facebook posts came to light, but he maintains close ties with Roger Stone, a longtime Trump advisor, and knows President Trump very well. Moments ago, the White House responded to Nunberg's claims that Mueller may have something on President Trump.
I definitely think he doesn't know that for sure because he's incorrect. As we've said many times before, there was no collusion with the Trump campaign. Anything further on what his actions are, he hasn't worked at the White House, so I certainly can't speak to him or the lack of knowledge that he clearly has.
Joining me on the phone right now is Sam Nunberg. Sam, thanks for joining us. So the special counsel's investigating President Trump for any possible ties to Russia that would have resulted in inappropriate, if not illegal, behavior. You work for Mr. Trump. Why are you refusing to cooperate with this subpoena?
Because it's absolutely ridiculous what they requested from me. They requested, first of all, they sent me a subpoena where they asked me after November 1 of 2015, did I communicate with Carter Page, Corey Lewandowski? I mean, I despise Corey. Why would I communicate with him? Hope Hicks, who was having an affair with Corey, and I would communicate. I should give them every email from November 1 of 2015 to perpetuity with Steve Bannon and Roger Stone. Why? Why do I have to give that to the government?
Well, I mean, because it's a special prosecutor and he's requesting information.
Well,
and he's
what would you say if it was a Democrat?
Same thing.
Would you agree? Would you agree that I would have to do that if
Yes.
they were investigating a Democrat? You would.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, you know what? I don't think I should. And I spent hours going over it today. It was really ridiculous. And I just think, and I'm not interested in going in there for them to set up a case against Roger Stone, who had no communication with Julian Assange. The idea that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians, you'd be giving the Russians, you'd be looking down on them. So he wouldn't be able to keep his mouth shut.
So let me ask you. So they're asking you for any communication with Hope Hicks, with Steve Bannon, with Corey Lewandowski, with Carter Page. Is that it? Those four individuals?
Oh, Gates and Manafort, who I've never spoken to in my life.
Rick Gates and Paul Manafort. So those.
Rick, I forget the other ones, and I'll send it to you. You know what? I may have to release this because I am not a fan of Donald Trump. He treated me like crap.
Right.
Okay. He treated Roger like crap. I should not have been fired. Roger should not have been treated the way he did, and Trump decided that he loved Corey more than us. That's fine. Okay, it's old business. But the idea that I was colluding with the Russians, that Roger was colluding with the Russians to help Trump, all we were doing was trying to get Corey fired.
So is that the reason that you're objecting to turning over these emails? Because
no, I'm objecting to it because I shouldn't have to spend that much time. I shouldn't have to go back down to a grand jury. I'm spending a lot of money on legal fees. A lot of other people are. And granted, Donald Trump caused this because he's an idiot. because he decided to give an interview to Lester Holt the day after he fired James Comey, and then he decided to have the Russians in the Oval Office. You have to explain that one to me, because I'll never understand it. But
I'm not going to be able to explain that to you, Sam.
No, nobody will.
So let me ask.
I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear from what's her name today attacking me.
Sarah Sanders.
Yeah, Sarah Sanders. If she wants to attack me, I can attack her.
So let me ask you. So they're asking. I just want to make sure I understand what the subpoena is requesting. The subpoena is requesting all communication you have with a whole bunch of people.
Jake, I'm going to send you the subpoena.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to send you. I'm going to be the first one in history to flat out say I'm not going.
You're not going.
I'm not going to the grand jury. I'm not going to spend 30 hours going over my emails. I'm not doing it.
You have testified before the grand jury already, right?
No, I met with them. I met with a very professional.
You met with them, okay.
I met with them, and they were very professional. And by the way, I was very impressed. But what I'm not doing is following up with it. I think Mueller has enough on Trump. He doesn't need me to start giving him information on Roger Stone and Steve Bannon. Jake, I communicated with Roger Stone and Steve Bannon 15 times a day. So I have to spend 80 hours going over emails?
Well, I agree that it seems like a lot of time, but it is law enforcement telling you that you have to do it. That's what a subpoena is. I mean, are you're actually willing to go to jail for this? Sam?
I'm not cooperating. Arrest me.
You're not cooperating, arrest you.
Yeah, I'm not cooperating. You're more than happy. You want to arrest me, arrest me. Because you know what? At this instance, and I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, Jake.
I know, you had a big falling out.
I'm not a fan of his. You know what? When they start asking for stuff like this, Trump is right. It's a witch hunt.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you did meet with the members of the special prosecutor's team, and you said they acted very professionally.
They acted professionally, and by the way, I was very impressed.
You're very impressed.
By that.
What were they asking you about?
They asked about everything in terms of my relationship with Trump, in terms of my, they even, my father worked for Trump in the 80s for Dreyer and Traub. If you read Art of the Deal, Trump mentions it.
Okay.
They asked about it. They asked about stuff like that. You wouldn't believe it. And they know something on him. And Jake, I don't know what it is.
They know something on him.
And perhaps I'm wrong, but he did something.
You think that they have him on something, but you don't know if it's related to the Russians or something else.
I think it could be. I think if they have him on something, they're smart enough to know if they have him on something, it has to be during the election. Because the same way that they went after Bill Clinton when he was governor of Arkansas, and they were right to, they have to go. The minute Trump's a politician, they can go after him. Now, Sarah Huckabee can attack me again, and I'd be more than happy to deal with her face to face. I mean, I'd be more than happy to go back and forth with her. I think she's terrible, by the way. I mean, how do you have? But it's the funniest thing to me that Trump likes her. Trump's approval ratings are in are dirt. They're like in the 30s. So I know he likes her because of her father and whatever else. But I would really suggest to Sarah she should attack me again.
I'm sure she's getting that message loud and clear. Let me ask you a question. What do you think the odds are? Well, first of all, about the Trump Tower meeting with Donald Trump Jr., Paul Manafort, Jared Kushner, meeting with individuals that were sold to them as being with the Russian government and having dirt on Hillary Clinton. This happened in the summer of 2016.
You know why Trump was so stupid to fire Comey?
Why?
Because Comey could never do anything to Trump because he didn't do anything against Hillary. So Trump fires him. I've heard, and you can imagine who I heard it from, that Jared was going around for 2 months saying that Trump should fire him. But he fires him, and then he gives the interview to Lester Holt, and then he has the Russians in the Oval Office. Who the hell advised him to allow those Russians in the Oval Office?
It's a mystery. But let me ask you about that Trump Tower meeting. What do you make of it as somebody who has worked for President Trump?
You know, I've defended that meeting. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And you're gonna disagree with me.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened at that meeting. Do you think that President Trump says he knew nothing about the meeting? Do you think that that's true?
No.
You don't think that's true?
No, it doesn't. And Jake, I've watched your news reports. You know it's not true. He talked about it a week before, and I don't know why he did this. All he had to say was, "Yeah, we met with the Russians. The Russians offered us something, and we thought they had something, and that was it." I don't know why he went around trying to hide it. And he shouldn't have.
I mean, I think that that's one of the mysteries of all of this, is that if there is nothing to hide, why is he doing things like firing James Comey, etc., trying to, why is he so angry at the Attorney General for recusing himself, etc.?
By the way, I just want to say this on your air.
Sure.
And I know you may not like this. No, I'm not going to say you may not like this. James Comey deserved to be fired.
He deserved to be fired.
James Comey was a disgrace for what he did to letting Hillary Clinton off for that investigation, and he colluded with Obama about it.
Okay, you're certainly entitled to your opinion. I'm not offended by that.
No, I know you're not offended. Actually, you know what? I'm wrong, and I should apologize. You did not say anything about that, but I would say James Comey was pathetic. Now, Robert.
Just gonna stop it for just a second, my royal family. Sound like homeboy is sucking on the bottle. Just listen real close. Yeah, he been sucking on the bottle because he worried. He talking big shit. But you're sucking on that bottle a little bit too hard because you done stuck your foot in some shit. All right, my royal family, let's continue on.
Mueller is a professional person. Robert Mueller is an honorable man. I'm not going to cooperate, Jake. I'm not going to spend 80 hours going over emails. I'm not going to go into a grand jury so that they can set a case up against Roger Stone because they don't like Roger. Roger's my mentor. I support Roger. We were treated very badly by Trump. That's throughout but I'm not going in there.
So it sounds like there are two things you're objecting to, and correct me if you're wrong, Sam. One is you think it would take too much time, and you also just think the request is ridiculous for all these emails and texts and whatever between you and Steve Bannon, Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, etc. You think, and then that's one, and then two.
You know what?
Yeah.
Jake, I'm going to send this to you afterwards.
Okay.
You asked me for it before, so you can see it. They asked me about communications with Carter Page. Do you think I would communicate with Carter Page? Carter Page is a scumbag.
Okay, so the answer is no. You would not communicate with Carter Page.
So the answer is no, and Carter Page was colluding with the Russians.
So Carter Page was colluding with the Russians, you think?
Yes, I believe Carter Page was colluding with the Russians.
Well, if that's true, Sam, Carter Page was an advisor to the Trump campaign.
He wasn't really an advisor, Jay. Come on. Do you really think he was an advisor? He was a name on a list.
Well, I know that he...
I'll be honest with you.
I know that
honestly, let's be credible. Let's be honest about this. Trump had to form, as you will recall, Jake, Trump had to form a foreign policy advisory board. They didn't know, they were happy to get anybody they could get. That guy was introduced to the campaign through Corey Lewandowski.
So you think, I just want to wrap this up in a second, Sam, but let me just ask you. So you think Carter Page colluded with the Russians. What do you think about George Papadopoulos, who has also...
I don't know anything about George Papadopoulos. The reason I think Carter Page, Jake, colluded with the Russians is because, as you well know, and you've reported this, and I watched your show about that case in 2014 or so, 2013.
Yeah.
That's why I think he did. I think that Carter Page is a weird dude. I don't think he should have been involved in that campaign. If you look at everybody else on that foreign policy board, they were basically brought in through what's his name? Through Dr. Ben Carson, effective in Carson's campaign because Corey was so lazy
Right.
he couldn't organize a campaign. He couldn't organize a foreign policy
Right.
division.
Sam, always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks so much. Please keep in touch because obviously I'm guessing that there will be repercussions if you tear up that subpoena and refuse to cooperate, and we want to hear
Do you
your
think
side
I
of
should
it.
cooperate? Should I spend 80 hours going over my emails, Jake?
If it were me, I would. I mean, if you're just asking my opinion, just because it sounds like a pain, but he is the special counsel and he does have the
But why do
long
I
arm of the
have to
law.
produce every email? Yeah, I talk to Steve Bannon and Roger Stone 8 times a day. Do you know what I mean? Why do I have to go over it? Why do I have to send them every email?
Sometimes life and special prosecutors are not fair, I guess. I would cooperate were it me, but you know, I'm a different breed of cat. Sam, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Jake, I'm definitely the first person to ever do this, right?
Say that again?
I'm definitely the first person to ever do this. Flat out say I'm not cooperating.
You're the first one I've ever spoken with who's ever done it.
Okay, thank you very much.
That much is true.
It's an honor, by the way, it's an honor to be on your show for the
Thank you,
first
sir.
time. Thank you for having me.
It's nice to have you on. It won't be the last. I appreciate it. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, Jake.
See, homeboy been drinking. What you worried about? What's going on with you, Sammy boy? You worried about that you ain't gonna get no hot dogs? Anyway, my royal family, render your voice. I know this is a long video, but necessary because some of us is keeping up with this. I'm definitely keeping up with it. I like it. It's juicy. You know, white folks love playing around in Pandora's box. So, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.